So, last week, my supervisor came in my office and asked me to pull together something, a visual. And so I was like, I think I can put it in a PowerPoint slides. That may be the easiest way to capture, what we were trying to capture. So I'm working on it, pulling images. And then she comes in. I want to show her, like what it's looking like. Now, in the meantime, before she comes in to see it, something you should know is that I usually have a lot of lights on when I'm working, or I would have dimmed the master lights and have lighting around me. So there's a lamp desk on my desk. There's a floor lamp behind me that has the tall light and then the light that I can curve. And every now and then, some of those days, it's been a long day, my eyes are tired, I have to focus lighting in on whatever I'm trying to read. Well, that morning, I'm pulling these images together and they just look dark. And so I had the light on in my office, the ceiling light, and then the light by my computer, pulled it over my computer. I pulled the light behind me closer and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's still dark. I am struggling this morning. I don't know what's going on. And I knew that I was rushing, trying to quickly pull this together. And so sometimes I wonder, like, if stress, if that impedes the quality of my vision, or that causes some strain in my eyes, or if my eyes are tired. But it was in the morning, so they should not be tired. So anyway, I just was like, I just need to get my eyes checked, but just focus, Ashley, pull these images together. And yes, you need to set an appointment to get your eyes checked because it should not be this dark. So fast forward, my boss comes in to look at what I have, and she was like, why is that so dark? And I look up and I'm like, it's dark for you too? And just felt a sense of relief that, like, it's not just my eyes. What I was seeing, my seeing was accurate. What I was seeing, there was something wrong with what I was seeing. It was dark. And then, she pushed the screen lighting button on my computer, and then the light turned up. And then the images became clear as they should have been. Now, one, I should have thought to check the screen, but my immediate thought was there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my eyes. And that scenario, it immediately reminded me of the movie Gaslight. And they say, I read something that said that psychologists have used the term based off of that movie to describe what we talk about when we say like that somebody's gaslighting us, or making someone seem crazy, or like their thoughts are off, or that their sense of reality is off. And so that movie immediately came to mind. But just that moment, I feel like there was a lesson in that for me. And I was thinking about it again recently, and it made me think, like, what are those things that we use to verify truth, or to verify accuracy, or to hold our thoughts up against, to check them, to see if they're solid, right? Or if they're on solid ground. And God's word is one of those sources. And that's why we read. That's why we fill our hearts and our minds with his word. So that when a thought comes up, or when we have a dream or an aspiration, or something comes up in a conversation, we're experiencing something in a certain way, we can use God's word as that external source to turn up the light, to make sure that we're seeing clearly, and to also determine whether it's something that we need to deal with internally, that's something that we need to adjust, or whether or not our seeing is correctly and there is actually something that needs to be adjusted, externally. And also just the thought of sometimes needing an external source. Who are those people who can speak into your life, who can affirm a dream, who can affirm a thought or a feeling, or check it, when it needs to be checked. And so I just wanted to share that, that's just something that has come up recently that I've been thinking about. As I have moments in and out of presentations, in and out of meetings, sometimes feeling like, yeah, I killed that, or that went really well. And then other times really questioning that imposter syndrome. And, I've started generated a list of like, what are the things that I still want to do? Like, what do I want, out of life, out of my career? Like, And I need, sometimes I have moments where insecurity may rise up or question the validity of that thought or that dream. And that's when we need that light to be turned up, so that we can, so that I can see clearly and that I can just rest in truth and rest in light. So I bring my dreams, I bring my ideas, I bring myself into the light of His Word, into the light of, community, so that I can navigate in confidence, adjusting when I need to adjust, but also realizing that sometimes there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing internally that I need to adjust. The external things need to be adjusted. Anyway, just wanted to share. Still on the journey of living a surrendered life. And right now, just, in the process of continuously coming to His Word, continuously coming to places of rest and stillness to worship. And these are my ways and my avenues of letting in the light. Well, until next time.